Assalamu alaikum, Your Excellencies, dignitaries, ladies and gentlemen, and my dear brothers and sisters. The UAE is a very young and dynamic country born in 1971. The Federation of Seven Emirates formed the UAE, capital being Abu Dhabi. The father of the nation, the late Sheikh Zayed bin Sultan Al Nahyan, was a very tolerant and pragmatic man. He allowed everyone to flourish. He looked after his own people but welcomed foreigners. He also felt that foreigners would bring more knowledge, more development, more growth to the nation and the economy. Today is home for 200 nationalities living in harmony and peaceful coexistence. A young nation with a lot of future, a lot of zeal. It has the leadership which is very pragmatic, welcoming one and all. There's a lot of human respect for individuals. Human values take an important place in society. The first lesson to learn is respect of the elders. Once you learn to respect your elders, you learn from them true values of life. Respecting the otherness of others is a true lesson to be learnt. Late His Highness Sheikh Rashid bin Saeed Al Maktoum, the other founding father of UAE, also set the principles of tolerance, open-mindedness towards other cultures, and a pride in heritage which is instilled in every Emirati and resident today. Under the leadership of His Highness Sheikh Khalifa bin Zayed Al Nahyan, President of the United Arab Emirates and the Supreme Commander of the United Arab Emirates Armed Forces, His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, Crown Prince of the Emirate of Abu Dhabi and Deputy Supreme Commander of the UAE Armed Forces, and His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, Vice President and Prime Minister of the UAE and ruler of the Emirate of Dubai, have further built on this legacy of the founding fathers of UAE. In the role, able hands of a dear friend, the true remarkable Sheikh Nahyan Mubarak Al Nahyan, the Ministry of Tolerance has carved out a very special place for the agenda that it is setting not just for UAE but for the much larger community of nations. Undoubtedly, the strategic geographic location of the UAE played and still continues to play a significant critical role in entrenching the values of acceptance and openness, regardless of race, ethnicity, religion, or belief. UAE society first experienced diversity in beliefs, denominations, and religions a long time ago. This was clearly evidenced by archaeological excavations on Sir Banias Island in 1992. The discoveries revealed the island was home to the oldest Christian church and monastery in the area, dating back to the period between the 7th and 8th centuries AD. This may explain UAE citizens' remarkable ability to accept diversity and the tendency towards moderation, centricism, and acceptance. The discovery of the monastery brought conclusive evidence of the coexistence that has long prevailed here between Christians and Muslims. It is a coexistence which embodies in the words and deeds of the late Sheikh Zayed bin Sultan Al Nahyan and the UAE leadership over many, many years. To treat every person, no matter what his creed or race is, a special soul in the mark of Islam. Sheikh Zayed once said, the UAE continues to follow Sheikh Zayed's example, and the nation has become a model for moderation, inclusion, and generosity in the Middle East. UAE is a country where respecting otherness of others is taken very seriously. It is also a country in the world that has a Ministry of Tolerance. The value of tolerance and acceptance was also manifested when His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, Crown Prince of Emirate of Abu Dhabi and the Deputy Supreme Commander of the UAE Armed Forces, renamed the Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Mosque in Abu Dhabi to Maryam Isa, the Arabic for Mary, the mother of Jesus, breaking barriers of exclusivity. I came to Dubai in 1976, my new adopted home. During the last 44 years, I have seen a lot of growth, development, acceptance, love and tolerance in all the communities living in the UAE. The UAE is committed to be at the forefront of enabling harmonious coexistence among all religions and cultures in the propelling progressive society to the value of tolerance. And this commitment was manifested to the Sikh community when His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, Vice President and Prime Minister of UAE and ruler of Dubai, granted land for free to build the world's most modern and region's largest Gurdwara Sikh temple, the Guru Nanak Darbar, Dubai. The temple offers an array of religious, non-religious and interfaith services, and it attracts hundreds of thousands of visitors from abroad. The Sikh community holds an interfaith iftar every year at Guru Nanak Darbar. People from all socio-economic, socio-ethnic and religious backgrounds, including foreign diplomats and UAE ministers, attend the annual event. The Crown Prince of Abu Dhabi, the Deputy Supreme Commander of the UAE Armed Forces, Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed, ordered the construction of the Abrahamic Family House in Abu Dhabi to commemorate the historic visit of Pope Francis and Grand Imam Ahmad Al-Tayyab to reflect the peaceful coexistence of different communities in the UAE. It was a truly ambitious initiative by the leadership and by the announcement to build the Abrahamic Family House, a massive new landmark in Abu Dhabi's Saadiyat Island that would bring a church, a mosque and a synagogue with the same collective space to create a community for interfaith dialogue and for understanding and acceptance of different religious beliefs, nationalities and cultures. The UAE-Israeli Peace Treaty is the UAE's commitment to regional cooperation. The UAE has made tolerance into a global initiative and sets the standards of unity in diversity at another level altogether. This approach is a defense against the toxic influences of the parochial mindset. We want UAE to be a global reference point for a tolerant culture via its policies, laws and practices. This is a quote from His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum. And we have another quote from His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, and that says, "The UAE is a place of tolerance, coexistence and openness to other cultures. We all must live together as one family because we are all children of one God, and we should tolerate each other, respect each other, accept each other and be true to our forefathers who have taught us the value of religion, value of coexistence, value of cooperation." God bless you all. Thank you very much.